Welcome back to Sounders FC Roundtable. I'm Tony Ventrella. We're at Fuel Sports Bar at Pioneer Square. Look, Alan Hinton is with us on this version of the show. Matt Gaschk, of course, a veteran of the Roundtable. A lot to talk about this week, and we're going to start with this great rivalry. Thank goodness the MLS expanded to Portland and Vancouver. Vancouver has been a rival of the Sounders for many, many years, since 1974. It continues this year, and just in your own words, let me start with Matt. In your own words, having been a fan since a kid, what does this mean to get these guys down from Canada once a year to play?
Well, it means that it means we don't have to pay as much attention to Portland, I think, more than anything. Vancouver's always been a huge rival of the Sounders, and back in the early days, probably a bigger rival on the field than Portland. And a lot of that, to be honest, has to do with the fact that they were a more competitive team, and they kind of always have been kind of throughout the years. If you look at records, if you look at championships, playoff appearances, things like that, Vancouver's always been much better competition in that realm for Seattle, and through those and through the many matches they've played against each other, the rivalry's grown, and it maybe was a little bit less prominent off the field in the USL days, but now now that it's back, I think it's going to be just as big, if not bigger.
It's huge. One of the reasons the rivalry was so rich, even back in the early 70s, is this man right here, Alan Hinton, who has played for both teams, has coached both teams. You had, in particular, a couple of huge years in the late 70s. Just tell me about why you're so excited about getting this team down here. You probably have a jersey at home.
Hey, Tony, I do, and it was number 20.
Oh, see, there you go.
Now, all my life, I wore number 11, like Zakawani.
Yeah.
But the big deal about Vancouver-Seattle rivalry for me is I coached the Vancouver Whitecaps, assistant coach 1978, and I played in 1978. And then I went back as the head coach of the Whitecaps in 1984. But I will tell you this, when I was at the Whitecaps, we almost always beat the Sounders. When I was at the Sounders, we almost always beat the Whitecaps. And my allegiance completely is with the Sounders, and I'm very, very happy and thrilled that the Whitecaps are back in Major League Soccer, and we can have this rivalry
That's
again,
right.
which we've missed for many years.
Oh,
frankly.
man, that's fun. Now, we do have a trivia question coming up because Matt's going to give you away a couple of tickets. And our question has to do with Alan in his playing career. Let's go right to Matt right now with that question, because I don't want Alan, if I let him talk anymore, he's going to give it away. So I got to let Matt, you tell me what the question is and how somebody can win a pair of tickets to this match.
In 1978, Alan Hinton was an assistant coach with the Vancouver Whitecaps. They were going to bring in a player to play left wing for them. Alan told the head coach, "I'm better than that player."
I love that.
So Alan ended up playing that position. Who was the player that Vancouver was going to bring in before Alan stepped in?
All right. So then, okay, since
Answer on the comments section on SoundersFC.com. First one to get it correct will win a pair of tickets to the match on Saturday.
So that leaves this for you. You can say the record that you set that still stands today.
Okay. Well,
but don't mention the player. That
first of all, I did tell Tony Waiters, who's a very good head coach, that I was better than the player he recommended that we bring in. And he said, okay, well, get some weight off. And I lost 20 pounds in weight. So here's this 35-year-old, slightly overweight guy playing left wing. And everything I touched turned to gold. I mean, we had a good team, 24-6, and I got 30 assists in the league, which broke all the records. The previous record was held by Pelé and George Best with 18, so no wonder I'm very proud of my time.
18 was the record?
18 was the record.
Whoa, blew it away.
I smacked it out of sight. Corner kicks, free kicks, Lenarduzzi on the end of it, and Bobby Campbell and Kevin Hector. It was a brilliant year, and the crowds went from 10,000 to 33,000 sellouts. It was a magical time.
Wow. Twice the player of Pelé, basically. All right, let's talk about the match. We'll bring Greg in a second from ECS to talk about the big block party on Saturday afternoon. But first, the match itself. This year, of course, they're new in the league, Vancouver is. A coach's change, only one victory. They're struggling. What does that mean? Do we blow them out? Do they come here? Does the rivalry make them so excited they play close?
Well, they're definitely going to be excited. They're going to have, Bob Lenarduzzi is going to have them ready. And this is definitely a team that isn't going to, you can't sleep on these guys. Just like really any team in this league.
Right.
There's so much parity in this league. and it's so hard really to, I want to say, accomplish the things that the Sounders have, to be a playoff team for the first 2 years, to make to win the Open Cup final for 2 years in a row. And right now they're third in the league. It's not easy to do. I think that what Seattle has done has shown that, and especially when you look at how Philadelphia went, how San Jose went before them, how Toronto went before them, and as well with Portland and Vancouver. Portland's playing well, but Vancouver is the example, falling more in tune with how expansion teams have done. Really kind of is a testament to what Seattle has done and what they were able to accomplish in those first 2 years.
But the rivalry, nevertheless, is still a keen one. It's a big one, and we are kicking that off with another block party. The first one was pretty good, wasn't it, Greg?
Yeah, it was a huge success. I think it was probably because you guys filmed the Roundtable here last
time. I'm sure
time,
that was the reason.
And we actually 2,200 people show up. We drank a lot of beer, and I think it was a good time. It was a safe time. Good. A lot of concerns last match for, incidents, but I think we proved as fans to be pretty disciplined. And I'm sure it's going to be the same with this one. The block party is basically identical format. For those concerned about bathrooms, we do have extra porta potties this time around. And the only difference is after the match, some of our members or supporters are in bands, and they'll be performing here live after the match just to hopefully celebrate what I would love to see is a nice 2-0 victory against the Vancouver Whitecaps.
He calls it, so Fuel Sports Bar is the hub of the block party. 1:30, is it?
Yes, 1:30 on Saturday. Show up. There's a big beer garden. There's plenty of capacity. It's a free 21 and over event, and bring cash, credit card, and have a good time.
Good, yeah, don't leave that out.
Hey, I just want to say something. The fans that you are the president of are absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thanks,
Jim. I got a question for you, though.
Yep.
The guy that turns away from the game, orchestrating the quiet and everything, does he buy his ticket or do you buy it for him? Because he never sees the game.
Well, the guy is Sean, and he's the founder of the group, actually. Right. And, he always DVRs the match. Right. So he wants to see a match.
That's a good question.
No, that's a great question. We actually have about 8 guys that do that.
Yes, yeah.
And it is a big sacrifice for them, but that's how they enjoy the Sounders. And, they get a sneak preview of the replays up on the big screen. It's right behind us.
Yes,
but
that's right.
yeah, it's called the Capo. They lead the songs, and we'll be having more of those next year and keep on growing.
Greg,
You're
thanks.
marvelous job. You're marvelous job.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. We're going to give away a couple more tickets. Sit right there, though. Hang in. I want to go around the horn real quickly on a couple things. O'Brien White starting to show signs of coming back. That's great news, although we don't know when exactly. But
yeah, there's still no set timetable on when he'll be back in playing form, but he's definitely back running around on the field. Did some cutting in training on Tuesday, and more than anything, he's got the smile back on his face.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
That between he and Zakwani both kind of I think Alan can attest to this. Their smile lights up the field.
It does.
And to have those guys back in the mix and smiling and being around the guys again and cracking the jokes and all that, it's great for the team, great for their own spirits as well.
And I saw Zakwani's got the beard now. He's they both lost some weight. It's muscle mass. They'll gain it back. And Zakwani's almost walking with one crutch. So that's great news. Alan, before we give the tickets away, give me a quick score. I know you're not going to pick on anybody. You want to beat Vancouver. What do you think Saturday? We get them, or we draw?
I do know this, that they have a coaching change. The ownership can do whatever they like when you've only won one game out of about 12, I think it is.
Yeah.
But there's nothing better for the Whitecaps than turning their season around by coming to Seattle and winning. So we do not need to take this game for granted. It won't be easy. I'd like to see us play very well and win nicely. Like Greg says, 2-0 would be fine with me.
Yeah.
And but I do think Vancouver will be coming in front of a good load of fans they will bring.
Sure.
And they will be bringing a lot of passion and trying to get out of the rut they're in.
All right, we'll wait and see. 7 o'clock Saturday night. Let's give the 2 tickets away right now. I'll just handle this one because I want people to walk up. The first person or couple that walks up to Matt Gaschk during the block party Saturday and says, "Matt, you have never looked better," wins a pair of tickets. Now, I know that happens all the time, but it has to be at the block party.
At the block.
After 1:30. Matt, you have never looked better. wins a pair of tickets for Saturday night's match. Greg, thank you. Alan, thanks. Matt, thank you. We'll see you after the match on Saturday. I'm Tony Ventrella from Fuel Sports Bar. This has been Sounders FC Roundtable.